greatest detective is back, and he's on his biggest case.
Get this guy immediately!
Ever.
The legendary Pink Panther diamond has been stolen.
His mind is sharper. He's a news threat. The Pink Panther 2. Starting now and control it just like a video. Movies on demand.
This is MSNBC.
The Rachel Maddow Show. Next on MSNBC.
Any place for politics. Franklin Delano Roosevelt once said, "In politics, nothing happens by accident. If it happened, you can bet it was planned that way." So it is with our first story in the countdown. No accident that yet another mainstream Republican refuses to condemn the wingnuts who say President Obama is not an American citizen. This time it was Liz Cheney on Larry King Live Tuesday night, appearing opposite Democratic strategist James Carville. After being shown video of a birther screaming at Delaware Representative Mike Castle with every chance to denounce the birther nutcases, Cheney instead attacked the president.
You know, one of the reasons I think you see people so concerned about this, I think that, you know, this issue is people are uncomfortable with having, for the first time ever, I think, a president who seems so reluctant to defend the nation overseas.
Are you saying because he's a Kenyan?
No, I'm not saying that.
Finally, Carville, referring to what he called the sort of nut wing of the GOP, said this.
I've been accused of hurling facts around. Let me hurl a fact around. These people are poor, these poor, pathetic people are believing stuff just like Miss Cheney tonight. She refuses to say this is ludicrous because she actually wants to encourage these people to believe this. It's just a simple thing. This is a nutty thing. There's nothing to this. I disagree with this president's policy. They can't say that.
Cheney, responding to Politico.com about the situation, chose the words very carefully and still refused to disown the birthers. I don't have any question about Barack Obama's right to be president. My concern is with his policies. I am deeply troubled about the path he is taking this country down, massively expanding the size of government, weakening our national defenses, increasing taxes on all Americans, and nationalizing health care. These are dangerous policies for the nation. Let's turn now to Charlie Pierce, staff writer for the Boston Globe magazine, contributing editor for Esquire magazine, and author of Idiot America. And Charlie, thanks for joining us from Boston tonight.
Good to be here, David.
FDR was right. It is no accident that Liz Cheney is refusing to come out and say the president was born in the United States. What's the game for her and the GOP?
Well, it's funny because I was listening to Chuck Todd on Hardball earlier tonight, and when Chris asked him about how, you know, this thing gets airborne, he immediately jumped in and said the internets. Well, it wasn't the internets in 1992 that invented Whitewater that brought us all the way down the rabbit hole. It was the New York Times. It wasn't the internets in 1999 that put Kathleen Willey on TV to slander somebody and put Jennifer Flowers on TV to talk about the Clinton body count. It was Chris Matthews of CNBC. It wasn't the internet that were involved with the prolonged act of journalistic malpractice that was the coverage of the Al Gore campaign in 2000. It was the mainstream media. Why wouldn't these people think this would work again?
But Charlie, we're talking about Liz Cheney, and when a prominent Republican like Liz Cheney refuses on multiple occasions to state that President Obama was born in the United States and is a citizen, isn't there a danger that moderates and independents will see the birther nuts not as a fringe, but as representative of the Republican Party overall?
Look, right now the National Republican Party looks like it's composed mainly of a group of circulated emails. I mean, but Whitewater didn't hurt them. The Swift vote accusations didn't hurt them.
But that's because there was an element of truth to Whitewater. Governor Jim Tucker, the McDougalls, they got convicted in the Whitewater investigation by a jury and a judge. There is no truth, Charlie, there's no truth whatsoever to the charge that Barack Obama is not an American, that he was not born in Hawaii. There's absolutely no comparison here.
Well, there is a comparison because we're floating it, David. There was no truth to the
Charlie, we're not floating it. It's Liz Cheney who's allowing this stuff to stay out there. Why is it so difficult for Liz Cheney and other prominent Republicans to say, this is garbage? Now let's talk about the policies where we disagree.
No, because they have seen in the past a political advantage to doing the nudge, wink, wink dance on this kind of thing. This isn't any sillier than what Senator Jim Inhofe says about global warming. It's just the id of the party rather prominently displayed.
Well, here's the other side of this. Is there an underlying racial component to all this that Liz Cheney and others are also fueling?
Well, as we know, David, nothing is ever about race in this country anymore now that we've elected Barack Obama to be president.
Out.
Of course there is. There's a
Down.
nasty stew of racism and xenophobia floating around percolating at the bottom of this. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
If Liz Cheney or anybody else is unwilling to acknowledge the facts in something as basic and clear-cut as President Obama's birth, why should Liz Cheney be trusted on anything else that she wants to talk about?
I don't know. I'm not the one who books her. I mean, it's the folks on shows like this that book her. She's never shown it. She's never shown it. She's never shown it. She's never.
Charlie, wait a second. You're getting this wrong. She has never been willing to come on the show. She has not been willing to come on this show or any during daytime on MSNBC to take any tough questions. She was on Larry King.
She's also on Morning Joe, and she's on TV a lot, even though she has no.
On the afternoon show, we have invited her repeatedly to come on and take the questions about torture and take these questions. She refuses. She picks and chooses her spots.
Of course
she knows that it's up to James Carville to challenge her. Where's the political environment? And again, the key question is, how can this possibly help our politics when you have a fringe like this one that believes this stuff, and you have leaders like Liz Cheney, and the fact of the matter is she is a leader, she's allowing this garbage to get out there. How can that possibly help any of us?
I don't know that she's a leader of any kind. What I would tell you is she's a prominent Republican because she's been made a prominent Republican on TV, and I'll